Hey, what's up guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. Welcome back to another live stream. Today's Thursday, one day away from Friday. That's right, it is Friday Eve again. How's everybody doing today? Guys, make sure you hit the like button. It just sends the video out there a little bit farther, and I thank you very kindly in advance. In this video, we're going to talk about the upcoming massive storm that just keeps getting bigger by the day. I've got new details surrounding the storm and what it's supposed to do here in the next 72 to 96 hours. But first, Ernie Ramirez, what's going on? Having coffee with common sense. You're looking at an earthquake today that occurred near Salt Lake City, Rick. We've been talking about earthquakes on the rise ever since the solar activity has been on the rise, and it did not disappoint. Luckily, there's been no big earthquakes. That's what we like. If there are going to be earthquakes, which there's going to be, that's just how this place is engineered and how it's wired. There's always been earthquakes, and there always will be. They are influenced, however, by solar activity. When the solar activity is up, earthquakes are up. So we're seeing earthquakes in very weird places. Looking at the Earth facing the side of the sun, this looks like an earthquake map. Go figure, huh? Make that make sense. Is that a coincidence? Maybe so. This sunspot right here has the capability of producing X-class solar flares. So we're waiting on more solar activity literally every hour as the Earth-facing side of the sun is having a sunspot party, literally. There was a 5.2 earthquake today up in the Aleutians of Alaska. This earthquake here near Salt Lake City was a 4.7. That would be south of the supervolcano known as Yellowstone. And one that's not so popular is way down here in southwestern Utah. There's an old ancient supervolcano complex down here that's one of the largest in the world. So this earthquake was right in the middle of two supervolcano complexes, and nobody's talking about it. I'll tell you more about it later, but there's one of the, and this one down here is dormant, okay? And for all intents and purposes, Yellowstone, it's not active, right? But it's got geysers up there and everything, and there's magma on the move every once in a while. This one down here is very, very quiet, but we'll talk about it later. But that earthquake did fall right between two supervolcano complexes. Yes, it did. What else do I have for you guys today? Oh yeah, I got all kinds of really cool picture slides to share with you guys. As you saw, the blackouts are being heavily anticipated. Several states have declared a state of emergency. Ones that I know of for sure are Texas, Arkansas, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia. Do you guys know of any others that are already in the state of emergency mode? If so, leave a comment down below in the comment section. Yes, earthquake east of Salt Lake City, about 75 to 100 miles. Wasn't in Salt Lake City there, Sky. But people are reporting feeling it in the immediate area. I think it was around 8-9 miles deep, something like that. Wasn't super shallow. Here it is right here. There was aftershocks. There's Salt Lake. There's the quake swarm. Wasatch National Forest right there. Go in a little tighter. There it is. It was out in the middle of nowhere where we like them. We don't want them in a populated area. Absolutely not. So keep them coming. If you're going to come, go right there in places like that. We don't want to see big 8-pointers, 7-pointers in populated areas. And we're going to see some big ones here in the coming days. Absolutely we are, because the solar activity is far from over. We've had multiple. There was a small M-class solar flare today. There was one yesterday. It's just percolating, ready for the next X-class solar flare like the summit of Mount Kilauea. It too is percolating. Just a little bit of smoke and gas today. Not too much. In fact, it's pretty quiet. Looking at power outages, 35,000 right now in California, 4,000 in Texas, 1,000 in Florida, New Mexico, West Virginia, and Oklahoma. Look for this number to increase as the weather starts to pick up tomorrow night, guys. It's going to start tomorrow night. The solar storm went to the wayside. You can see it's, for all intents and purposes, it's gone. But now we're going to be invaded by a big trough of cold air and a huge plume of moisture coming up from the Gulf of Mexico, right through Texas, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, and over to the East Coast, bringing lots of moisture with it. That collision is going to create precipitation. Just how it works. That's how this place is wired. Looking at Friday night over here, tomorrow night, we're less than 24 hours away before the action starts, guys. So if you haven't prepared and you live in Arkansas, you live in Texas, northern Louisiana, especially northern, even north central Mississippi, I wouldn't put my guard down if I lived in central Mississippi. I certainly wouldn't, because this has the potential to dip down. This could be a surprising storm. That cold air is big, it's wide, and it could reach down into southern Mississippi. Don't let your guard down if you're in Mississippi. Have some resources available. It's better to have them and not need it than to need them and not have them. So just be ready, that's all. Look at the band of pink starting tomorrow night, guys. This is why they've declared a state of emergency in multiple states, calling out the National Guard. This isn't even a hurricane. No, this is a winter storm. But the problem is it's going to be so cold. You're talking temperatures sub-zero spanning multiple states. Look at this here. Sub-zero in Montana, and this is on Saturday. Look at tomorrow when the party starts. Look at that. Big trough of cold air, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Negatives from Montana all the way down to northern Missouri, central Illinois, northwestern Indiana. Cold enough to snow all the way down to Nashville. That's Friday morning at 8 a.m. This is when things are going to start up in through here with the moisture. You can see it's going to warm up just a little bit in the afternoon, 1 p.m. Not much, though. It's going to stay cold, guys, for the next several days. Tomorrow night, Friday night, cold air still lingering around. 11 p.m. It's going to dip down a little bit farther. I'm going to step this through because this is important. This is why that they've declared a state of emergency right here. This is why they've deployed the National Guard in multiple states. You're looking at it. The main influencer right here. Look at the temperatures up here in Canada. Negative 39, negative 40. That's the real temperature, not the feel-like temperature. Okay, 3 o'clock in the morning, Saturday. Very, very cold. And the cold temperatures, 32 degrees down in central Mississippi. 32, 34. See how cold it's getting down in there? 36. It's not cold enough to snow, but man, is it close. I mean, it is close. And that's the same time the precipitation's supposed to come to town. So you got snow, a lot of snow, 6 to 10 inches in Oklahoma, looking at 10 inches in southern Missouri, 10 to 11 inches in northern, I'm telling you, Arkansas. Arkansas, you guys are going to be dealing with it, I'm telling you. If you live in Arkansas, if I lived in Arkansas, I know what I would be doing. I'd probably drive down to southern Louisiana. But if I was in Arkansas and had to stay, I definitely would have some backup resources. I would have candles. I'd make sure I was somewhere that had a wood stove. I'm just saying, power is probably going to go out in southern Arkansas. Just using common logic. If you look at the precipitation map and all the moisture that's headed towards Arkansas, for a long period of time, these pinks are freezing rain. And the situation is going to look like this. All the trees are going to have at least this much. This isn't really that much, to be honest with you. I've seen trees that had more ice than this. The branches, the big heavy branches were leaning towards the ground, sagging. I don't see a whole lot of sagging here on these trees. I've seen the branches bent over to the ground, and I know you guys have too. That's probably going to be the scene through here. So what happens when the branches lean over towards the ground? They collide with power lines, even power poles, and it just creates a whole mess. You guys know the drill. Just be ready, guys, that's all, because it's coming. It's not going to veer to the right, to the left like a hurricane. This thing's coming in hot, but it's going to be very, very cold. It's not going to miss, that's all I'm saying. It is not going to miss. It's going to be a long duration event. Friday, Saturday, into Sunday. It's going to be clearing out in the Central Plains on Sunday, but it's going to be over along the East Coast. They're going to get a ton of snow up in Pennsylvania. Are you serious? You guys are going to be digging out snow for the next week. Oh my goodness. You could see a foot to 2 feet in parts of New York, Pennsylvania, up in the New England area. You could see 2 feet of snow in Washington. It's going to be bipolar in Washington, okay? They're not going to know what it's going to do. Is it going to be freezing rain? Is it going to be ice pellets? Or is it going to be snow? Make up your mind already. We're looking at Sunday at 4 p.m. and it's freezing rain. But prior to that, a lot of snow. So you're going to have snow covered with a layer of ice. Wow. It's going to be a big mess is what that's going to be. A lot of snow up in, again, Pennsylvania, Ohio. You guys are going to see measurable snow and a lot of it anywhere. This forecast has changed a little bit. Yesterday, we were over here. The maximum was 8 inches. Look at it now. They're anticipating more moisture. The closer we get to the day, the more fine-tuned the forecast will be. And more than likely, this will be accurate. So you're looking at going from 8 inches now to an additional 3 inches in Ohio. Because yesterday, when we were looking at the map, the dark purple was pretty much absent. It was purple all through Ohio, but representing about 7 to 8 inches. Now look, you have a line of 10 to 11. That's a lot of snow. That's almost a foot of snow. That's a lot. That is a lot of snow. Up in northern Pennsylvania, 14, 15 inches of snow quite easily. 17 to 18 inches of snow all through central New York. Wow. Down south and east of Pittsburgh, 14 and a half inches. These are preliminary estimates. It could be a lot more. It just depends on how long this thing hangs around. That's going to be the tail of the tape. It's not going to be moving by very, very quickly. That's why they're anticipating these very high snowfall totals. That's a lot of snow, man. Probably one of the biggest storms we've seen this year, and it's going to be one for the books, especially depending on how much power goes out. The cold air dipping way down in through southern Little Rock down into, heck, it's going to be freezing, below freezing in southern Arkansas for several days. Looking at the cold air, not moving out, getting even colder. Saturday night, well, this is at lunchtime. You'd think it'd warm up a little bit, but look at the cold air dipping way down into central Texas. This is Saturday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. 16, 15 degrees. Cold air push. 0 in the Texas Panhandle. Yikes, that is cold, man. You know, the coldest I ever experienced, the coldest I was ever involved in was 17 below 0. And that was the actual temperature for 2 days right here in this area. Right there where that little mouse is at. 17 below, 2 days in a row. And let me tell you something. When it warmed up to 0 on the 3rd day, it felt like a heat wave, man. The clouds all moved out. You could run around outside because there was no wind with just a long sleeve shirt on, and it felt like a heat wave. I'm not kidding. Weird. But it was 17 below for 2 days, so the temperatures were just absolutely frigid. We didn't lose power. Got a lot of snow, though. And, of course, it was cold. It was a polar vortex. But here's the big troublemaker right here, guys. It's the ice. That's the reason for the National Guard. That's the reason for the state of emergencies. I get it. You know, it makes sense. You guys are going to probably, I don't know. I don't want to get the cart before the horse because it hasn't happened yet. But more than likely, it's going to look like a winter wonderland from West Texas all the way over to the East Coast. It's unavoidable. We talked about it yesterday. You saw the big ridge of moisture coming up in the form of almost an atmospheric river from down in the Gulf. And then this massive cold air polar vortex is dipping down. So that's just you got the perfect storm brewing is what you've got. Winter storm. And it's got everything on the menu. The light blue is rain. The pink is freezing rain. The brown color is ice pellets because the temperature is going to be right in between. It's going to be bipolar. Is it going to be freezing or is it going to be above freezing? It's going to land somewhere in the middle. And then above that, it's going to be even colder up in Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Kansas. You guys are going to see a lot of snow, 8 inches of snow throughout all of Oklahoma. How much snow is going to be in Kansas? Somebody asked. Well, let's just take a look. Wichita looking at 5 to 6 inches of snow. Southeastern Kansas, 5 inches of snow. Big steady plume of 5 inches. 3 inches as you go west. Going into Missouri, you're looking at 10 inches of snow. 11 inches of snow down around the Ozarks. Around the boot heel of Missouri, 10 inches of snow. 11 inches of snow, 10 inches of snow in northern. This is accurate too, guys. It's going to happen. I've used this for years, and these guys are good. Look at that, 12.2. This is ventusky.com. 12.5 northeast of Fayetteville. It's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of snow through there. Evansville, 10 to 11 inches of snow. Southern Illinois, 10 to 12 inches of snow. Northern Kentucky, 10 to 11 inches of snow. And again, up in Ohio, 10 inches of snow across all of southern Ohio. Getting into Pennsylvania, this almost looks like lake effect snow, but it's not. Lake effect snow can generate many feet, but you're looking at, still, that's a lot of snow. 14 to 15, 16 inches of snow throughout most of New York, over into Massachusetts. This is a big, big system, big, powerful system, very, very cold. So once again, the National Guard is on alert. multiple states. The ones that I have so far are North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, because Atlanta, you guys can see some snow. Texas, and definitely Arkansas. This map here is not showing it, but look at the freezing rain component. It's definitely going to be cold enough on, let's see, in Atlanta, I think on Friday it's going to get down around the 30 and 40 degree range. Well, they got it warming up a little bit now. Let's look at Saturday. I'm trying to dial it in here in Atlanta. Somebody asked about Atlanta. Okay, chances of winter precipitation in Atlanta is going to be on Sunday. So depending on what's left of this ridge of moisture coming in, we'll have to wait and see. But yes, Atlanta, you guys could see either snow, freezing rain, or a combination of both. So expect power outages in Atlanta, in northern Alabama, northern Mississippi, northern Louisiana, pretty much any county, take your pick in Arkansas. Any county, look at this. Take your pick. I wouldn't be surprised, and I've seen it before, only after hurricanes, every county dealing with some degree of power outages. If it unfolds like it could, it's going to make this here look like a walk in the park. These trees are barely even sagging, and I just use this for presentation purposes. I found an ice storm, and you can see these branches here are still holding their own. The branches are stronger than the ice. When the ice is stronger than the branches, that's when it's a problem. So if you have 3/4 of an inch of ice in any setting, any environment that has trees, that's going to be a big problem, man. Those trees are going to sag down to the ground. I've seen it. I've been in it. It's going to happen. That's a big plume of freezing rain. And it's going to start, guys, Friday night. Here we go. I'll take it back one more time. Here we go. Friday night, about 5 o'clock in Texas. The party's going to start in North Texas and southern Oklahoma. It's going to make its way all the way across Arkansas, Louisiana, obviously Texas. I'm talking about the ice. Into northern Mississippi. But look at that line right there. The pink line is ice. I could dip down further, so just be aware if you're in central Mississippi. And we started this on Friday night. Now we are into Saturday night. Look how far it's gone. This is 24 hours of ice. That's just a recipe for disaster. Okay, still icing in Arkansas, and this is Sunday at 3 a.m. So it's been icing in Arkansas for over 32 hours. Oh, wow. That's a lot of ice, man. Now we're at 6 a.m. Still icing in southern Arkansas, northern Louisiana. Louisiana, you're going to be dealing with it too, so just be ready. East Texas, yes, be ready. 36 hours of icing between Texas, northern Louisiana, northwestern Mississippi, and pretty much all of Arkansas. Arkansas, if you're not dealing with a foot of snow, you're going to be dealing with nearly an inch of ice. It's just that simple, to just simplify it. And then the moisture moving out on Sunday evening, but then it's going to turn cold Sunday night, and the ice is not going to go anywhere for a while. And then all the snow is going to be delivered to the Pacific or the New England area in the form of a foot, maybe 2 feet of snow, just depending where you're at. And then the cold air, it's going to stick around a while. It's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. I think the cold air, and that's this big pink and purple mass, is going to stick around until, look at that. This is on Monday, -11 in Oklahoma, southern Oklahoma, -11, -22. This is the temperature, not the feel-like temperature. Are you serious? -22 in north central Kansas. That is nuts. No thank you. I don't want any part of that. Okay, warm air starting to come in on Sunday or Monday night. You can see the cold air kind of retreating. It's kind of giving you guys a walkthrough. Not as cold on Wednesday, but Tuesday warming up a little bit. Wednesday warming up a little bit more. Thursday, cold air dipping back down, but you can see the big polar vortex moving over towards eastern Canada, but still dipping down into Illinois in the negative temperatures. It's going to be a cold week. Okay, we're going to go 5 a.m. on Friday. We got to go back. Let's go back to Friday. Yeah, it's not going. It's going to be here all week. All week. So the precipitation that comes down in the form of whatever, ice, snow, ice pellets, freezing rain, it's going to stick around all week. It's not going to go anywhere. So be ready, guys. It's better to have the resources and need them than to not have them and need them. I've read articles already. I've seen people are taking care of business. They've been going to the stores and stocking up on non-perishables. I've been in those situations, and luckily I didn't need them. But you know what? The nice thing about those is you can always use them later. That's the thing. When you get non-perishables, that's what's nice. You can always use them later on down the road. They're not going to go to waste. So have a little bit of cash on hand just so you can have the ability to barter, because this looks like a stage that's being set that's very familiar to me from back when I was a little kid and we didn't have power for an entire 7 days straight. I hope that's not the case. But the chances of that happening are very real. It's just the way it is. You got a 30-hour event, 30-plus hour event of freezing rain. There's going to be a lot of accumulating rain, or a lot of accumulating ice. And you're talking a foot to 2 feet of snow in the northeastern United States. Yeah, this is a big storm. This is going to be one that it's going to be remembered for a long time and has the potential to do a number on the power grid. Holy mackerel. That's a lot of ice, guys. Be ready. Have some resources. That's all. Get your favorite beverages that you like. Have candles, flashlights, blankets, the whole 9 yards. And if the power is going to be out for an extended period of time, you got to find a way to keep warm, you know. So you got to think that through too. You got about 24 to, you probably got a good day and a half left before the ice starts coming in the form of freezing rain. So just be cool. Everything's fine. Everything's going to be fine. Always be cool. Don't panic. When you panic, you lose. Just be cool. It's going to pass. Everything's going to be all right. But just be smart and be ready. That's all. Be smart, be ready, and you're good, man. You're good. You're ahead of the curve. You knew this was coming. You ain't going to get caught off guard. You people know what time it is. You are wide awake and on the ball. I know that. So anyway, be ready. It's coming, guys. Don't be surprised if you see the National Guard in your neighborhood. Just know they're there to help. So hopefully you won't need them. But again, it's better to have resources available and not need them than to need the resources and they're not there. So be ready. This is going to be a big, big storm. All right, guys, it's good to see everybody in here today. Tomorrow is Friday. I got something planned for tomorrow. So come back and join us tomorrow between, I don't know, around 3 and 5. We'll see. Probably around the same time today. But we're going to do something a little different tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. We're going to be another live stream. So if you don't get notified, pop back in over here around 4 o'clock Arizona time, 6 o'clock Eastern time, 5 o'clock Central time, and of course, 3 o'clock Pacific time. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. Have a super day. And as always, be safe out there.